Thank you, Eric. I'm pretty sure that if Eric was given the opportunity to introduce everybody in this room, he will claim that he knows everybody at a very personal level. And I'm pretty sure that will be true. This is one presentation, I think, where we are talking about connectivity. And this is one presentation that was done because of the connectivity that currently obtains between us and Namibia and Microsoft and USAID. It is, I believe, the only presentation that we're going to have that is going to be continuous from point A to point Z, in the sense it was done under the by both of us, or the tripartite, let me put it that way. So you can see that the connectivity that we're talking about is not just, on paper. It is something that is in action at every level. Without wasting time, I will very, very briefly take you through the first two points of the presentation, that is the background as well as, the current landscape. Now, there are a number of reasons why we are where we are currently as far as this project is concerned. It is because we found ourselves in an environment that, we thought that, going forward, it can never be sustainable. And like somebody once said, you should always hit the iron while it is hot. But what we thought as Namibia and Microsoft and USAID was that you should hit it until it is hot. Don't wait until it is hot and start hitting it. Make it hot, make it happen. We are faced with a number of challenges. The first one, as you'd all appreciate, is that trade is increasing. And to that extent, we find that, there are queues at our ports of entry, ports of exit. And because of that, we thought that it is only appropriate that we begin to explore ways within which we can minimize on our interventions and to minimize on the way that we do business. And therefore, this was, the IT connectivity was one of the things that we thought that would be the way to go, in the sense that to the extent that, traders are required currently to stop on the two borders to do exactly the same thing that they did on the other side. We thought that it is a contributing factor to the long queues that we see at the borders. And secondly, because, essentially it means that the transfer of information between the two countries was done in isolation within the two countries or silos, so to speak. We found out that there were errors that would otherwise have been avoided. Have we created an environment where traders would only deposit their declarations in one country, and then that country, or through an IT solution, that information is then transferred to the next country. We also have difficulties that, as the importing country or exporting country, more often than not, because we're working in silos, we did not have the kind of advanced information that we know that within the government environment, we need to make advanced decisions before goods come. On the trade side, it was also found to be a problem, to the extent that you only as a trader get to know the requirements when the goods come, and you are then turned back to go and get, what is missing. We thought that it is important that, we create an environment where advanced information reaches those people that will make decisions prior to the goods coming. I think we also, as part of the customs union that shares revenue on an annual basis, one of the things that we do on an annual basis is that we reconcile our trade statistics. And it was a very, we discovered it is a very laborious exercise, very painful exercise to go through, because you have to reconcile information that you would have reconciled on the date that the transactions were made. I think we can go on and on, but in a nutshell, what we are saying is that we found ourselves, because of the increase in trade, because of the complex nature of the way business is conducted, we thought, the way that we've been doing things, where we are working in silos, is really only contributing towards increasing trade costs and wasting a lot of time at the borders. And this is why in 2003, through the Trans-Kalahari arrangement, the three countries being South Africa, Namibia, and Botswana, we met and decided that it is important that we draw up an agreement within which we then identified certain areas that we thought would work to address the challenges that we identified. We then entered into an agreement, a memorandum of understanding, that have had three basic focus areas. The first one being to simplify cross-border processes and procedures at the border. The second one being to minimize cross-border trade costs. And the third one being to minimize on the times that are taken at the borders. And then in 2008, the three of us then set up a task team that then looked at how to then operationalize this. And in the task team then identified or brought to light that the two countries within this tripartite, being Namibia and Botswana, use Asikuda as the Asikuda system as the IT solution for customs, and South Africa is using Titus. And we then agreed that Namibia and Botswana should pilot the IT connectivity using what is called the cloud computing. And South Africa then, took the decision with us that they and Swaziland can pilot a different way of connecting our IT solutions. And beginning of this year, SACU heads of customs have then embraced this as the way to go in terms of IT connectivity within the SACU environment. I would leave the podium at this stage and hand over to Jackie to continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the floor. It is my distinct honor to present the IT connectivity objectives for this important project. The MC yesterday say we should manage our time properly. I should be very, very brief because we need to give a floor to Microsoft to go into the nitty-gritties. Okay. In terms of the IT objectives that we have set ourselves, they are as follows. Eliminate redundant data entry, reduce time and costs, security and privacy, and advance information, including accurate trade statistics. Here we are saying that it is important that we eliminate the repetitive data entry taking into account the current situation. We also need to reduce time and costs needed for traders to prepare customs clearance documentation. And in terms of maintaining security, this was also taken as a very, very important project objective for this project. Again, we also needed to provide advanced information to allow customs to allocate resources and traders to prepare other documentation ahead of time. So this is also in view of managing risk and enforcement advanced information. Okay. In terms of moving forward with this project, there were certain considerations that has to be taken into account, and then that it included the legislative framework. We have to mention right from the onset that I think it is important that we have a legislative framework that will allow us for the exchange of information, and in particular electronic transaction, as well as to give consideration to come up with a legal framework for in respect of bilateral enabling environment. So in terms of this, we are in the process, both countries are in the process of passing e-transaction legislative framework, which will encompass the customs connectivities, and in particular, Namibia is also revising the ICT communication bill. And also in terms of SADC mutual administrative assistance, we have to also take into account Annex E that allows for mutual automated exchange of information. Other considerations that were also given are in terms of security and privacy. Here we are saying that security of data is very key, and we also underscore the importance of traders to have access to their own data, and traders should use their existing Asikuda IDs to log on to the trader portal. And also in terms of data access, we are also saying that data access should be restricted to authorized users only, and they can only access the data for their own purposes. And then other consideration that were also given that we are also looking at is in terms of sustainability of this important project. We are saying right from the onset it is important that we have stakeholders' involvement. It's very critical, taking into account the key strategic partners that we are dealing with. We are talking about clearing agents, our port authorities, our IT or mobile communication agencies. And then, of course, staff training is also very key, including IT maintenance, flexibility, and adaptability of the system. So we are saying this system is very flexible, in terms, for example, if you roll out at Mamuno border post, you will be able to roll out to another border station or another neighboring country, for example, Zambia, that is also using the Asegura platform. And of course, other countries in the region are also using that system as well. So I think in terms of awareness, we have to, and the way forward, we have to share with you that we have conducted aggressive awareness campaigns. This included awareness campaign for customs officials at our respective borders, also awareness campaigns for the clearing agents in Windhoek, and this is an ongoing process. Okay. In terms of okay, the next step is also with regard to testing and training, and then of course monitoring and evaluation of this important project. So I think in a nutshell that was my quick presentation, and I have also to share with you that the official launch will be in October this year, and you are all invited to attend this launch. Okay. Thank you so much.